I have 3 days in Barcelona, and here's how I spent day one. I booked us a tuk-tuk tour in the morning so that we could see some of the hot spots in the city. This was an express tour through Eco Tuk-Tuk, and the tour started in the bottom level of a parking garage by the Barcelona Nord bus station. I hadn't heard of tuk-tuks before this trip, but it's basically like an electric golf cart. I'm not the biggest fan of tours when traveling, but this was nice because it was only 1 hour. We didn't have to do any walking, and we just got to take a peek at some of the main attractions in the city. And it gave us some ideas for where we wanted to go to later in the day and for the rest of the trip. Afterwards, we were ready for some lunch, although it was basically breakfast time because everything runs much later in Spain. So we walked over to Flora Cafe. The fresh juice that I got here was amazing, and I also made some oatmeal, although I had actually eaten breakfast before, but my family hadn't. So everybody got some things to eat. My brother had to head to class, and I wanted to check out the Plaza de Catalunya, so my dad and I decided to try taking the bus, so my mom walked and met us over there. He also tried to pay with coins, and the driver looked at him like he was crazy. We wandered into a few different stores, but I had seen Pull and Bear on our tuk-tuk tour, and I knew I had to go back there because this is one of my favorite stores, although I've never visited it in person. I feel like they have very good basics that are high quality and inexpensive. We took a quick rest at the Airbnb before hopping into an Uber to head up to go to Montjuïc mountain. We went to the Montjuïc funicular, which is a train station, so you can also take a train to get there, and this is located in Parc de Montjuïc. Once we were at the station, we got onto the Montjuïc cable car that takes you to the top of Montjuïc mountain. I would recommend getting round trip tickets, so the first one takes you from the park up to the top of the mountain, and on the way down there's a stop at a viewpoint called Mirador de l'Alcalde. We ran out of time to do this because it was very close to closing, but if you were there earlier in the day, you can get off and then hop back on the cable car to go all the way back down to the park. You can also walk down from the viewpoint if you wanted, or you can just choose to stay on from the top all the way down to the bottom. You don't have to get off at the viewpoint. So many combos, but I had a hard time figuring this out in advance, so I wanted to include that. Now, when we got to the top of the mountain, it turns out there was a castle there. This is called Montjuïc Castle. You can walk around for free at the top of the mountain and also look at the outside of the castle, but if you want to go inside, you do need to purchase tickets, which we just did on site because we had no idea that this existed. This was actually a really cool and an unexpected part of our day. There's so much history behind this castle, but I think my favorite was the view from the top. For dinner, we headed over to the W Barcelona to eat at the Fire restaurant. There's a few different bars and restaurants in the hotel, and they also have a very nice lobby, which came in handy while we were waiting for my brother to meet us. There was a conference happening at the local convention center, so this hotel was packed with people on business trips. So we ran into a lot of trouble getting a taxi home, but we eventually made it and ended the day.